Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Yesterday, we saw what is the meaning of Upanishad. Upanishad Sabdena Vidya Uchyate. So, the number of Upanishads and its branches. So, it's very difficult issue for the Indologists to count the number of the Upanishads. And another problem happened, a lot of Sampradaya sects in the history, they became powerful many a times. And they tried to prove their own sectarian scriptures or books as Upanishad. And they want to establish that Upanishadic thought, they tried to establish is truthfulness into the human being. Sometimes by pressure, sometimes emotional blackmail, anything else. Like Samrat Akbar, he forced or requested people or the scholars to write Allopanishad. So any human composition is not considered as Upanishad. But in Yajurveda, in Muktiko Upanishad, there 108 Upanishads are available. Among them, Ishadi Upanishad is also there. In that, Rigvedic Kaushitaki Upanishad is the part of the Kaushitaki branch. Aitareya Upanishad is the part of the Aitareya Aranyaka, and it is at the end or in the 6th chapter. Krishna Yajurvediya Kathopanishad is under Kathaka branch. Mahanarayan and Taittiriya Upanishad is at the last portion of Taittiriya Aranyaka. Maitrayaniya Upanishad is the part of the Maitrayani Samhita. Svetasvatara Upanishad is the part of the Svetasvatara Shakha or branch. And Bhagavan Šankara ji told all of them as Mantropanishad. Shukla Yajurvediya Íśopanișad is the last chapter of Vajaniya Samhita. Vrihadaranya Upanishad is the last 6th chapter of Satapat Brahmana. Samavedic Chandogya Upanishad is the part of the Chandogya Brahman, which under the branch of Tandya Shakha. And Kenopanishad is under Talavakar Shakha. Historians are doubtful. He says that Atharvedic Mundakopanishad may be under Saunaka Shakha, and Prashnopanishad is under Pippalada Shakha. Because those two sages, Rishi Saunaka, told there is a ullekh of Mundakopanishad, and Pippalad Rishi was the answerer of Prashnopanishad. In Prashnopanishad, we will find that 6 scholarly, very old sages came to know Brahma Vidya to Pippalad Muni, and he answered their question. It was very difficult for the historian, Indologist to distinguish the branches of Atharva Veda. Now we will come that what is Prasthanatraya. It's very difficult to understand the gist of Upanishad, or the way Upanishad speaks. It's very difficult to understand for common man, even for the scholars also. So from the ancient age itself, that problem was there. That's why to reveal the gist of the Upanishad and to protect the Upanishad from the external invasion, from the external attack, a lot of supporting books were composed. Among them, Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra and Srimad Bhagavad Gita is more authentic. So Upanishad, Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra, those three, those holy trio is called Prasthanatraya. They are the baseline of Vedanta philosophy. Why Brahma Sutra was there? Because in Upanishad, some mantras are there which is apparently self-contradictory. In one Veda, it is in some different manner. In another Veda, it is some different manner. So people started thinking that Upanishads speak self-contradictory thing, and one Upanishad has another meaning. So in Brahma Sutra, so Vyasadeva, Bhagavan Vyasadeva composed Brahma Sutra, where only the contradictory mantras have been discussed with the proper logic. That is why that Brahma Sutra also called Nyaya Sutra or Nyaya Prasthana. Bhagavad Gita is composed or told by Sri Bhagavan Krishna. This is called Smriti Prasthana, and Upanishad is called Shruti Prasthana. So, what the other Western philosopher says, the maximum Western philosopher don't believe, they have no capacity to believe the concept of apaurashya. So they don't believe in that thing that Vedas are not composed by any human being. That is why Max Muller told that Samhitas were composed 1200 BC, in 1200 BC. Then MacDonald, another famous person, Western, he told in 800 BC, from 800 BC to 500 BC, Brahmana Bhaga of Veda was composed. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, he was also secular minded in first time. He told in between 1000 BC to 400 or 300 AD, Upanishads were composed. Winter Sahib or Winter Nij, according to him, he gave an analogy of the Upanishads with the basis of their composition time. So he told Brihadaranya was composed first, then Chandogya, then Taittiriya, then Aitareya, then Kaushitaki, then Kena. In first half, those Upanishads were composed, and then Katha, Isha, Svetasvatara, Mundaka, and Mahanarayana. In third phase, Prashnopanishad, Maitrayaniya Upanishad, then Mandukya Upanishad, and in fourth stage, all other Upanishads were composed. But we have to be respectful to Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who did a lot of research work, and he told, yes, Veda was composed, Sankalita, Rachana nahi hai. It was not authored by anyone else. And when that composition happened, he told minimum 4000 BC, minimum before 4000 BC. And he gave all the research work. Though the common Hindu people, Sanatanis, they believe 5040 years back, at the time of Mahabharata war, Vedavyas ji, Maharshi Vedavyas ji, he composed segregated Veda. So, in Upanishad, mainly four matam, thought process we got. Who are they? Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Shuddhadvaita, and Dvaita. And all the authentic schools, they are schools of philosophy. And each and every schools have their own commentary on Upanishad. Because whenever you are claiming that it's a school of philosophy, how to establish it? The acharyas have to write commentaries on Prasthanatraya, mean Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita. So those four schools have their own philosophy. They established their own philosophy. They took the Upanishad mantras in their own way. But they told also that the theme of all the Upanishads are one. But they took in different way. That's when we will study more, we will understand. And in our previous texts, like concepts of Vedanta or Vedanta in a nutshell, or definitions of Vedanta, elaborately I have discussed. If anyone is very, very interested in it, please go to that YouTube channel called Beauty of Vedanta and go to the playlist. In a very disciplined manner, step by step, it is there with the title. It will be a nice listening because not a single word is of mine. It was the research work from several books. So if anyone is very, very interested, if you get time in lockdown, take it as blessings and devote yourself in Vedanta. Believe me, it's in between my studies, I am just telling one thing. Maybe I am younger than many of the listeners now or other time. But my life's journey is not small. Bhagavan has prepared me through many experiences in this. And yesterday there was a raining in the morning and I went out to see how the poor people are surviving in the city of Kolkata. That I do many a times. And there was an accident. I got an accident. I fell down. And just a fraction of a second, one big government bus just pressed the brake, and it was just one palm size distance. Believe me, I was not at all afraid. Not at all. It is not my greatness. Please don't misunderstand me I am trying to prove how great I am. No, no, no. How great the Vedanta is. The fraction of second one word came out, that is Ram. Still there is paining my whole body. But another thing, it happened in the morning before class. Could anyone understood that I was fully drenched, got some severe accident before the class? As it is, I was cool as I am. That is the strength of Vedanta. If you can understand the impact of Vedanta, this is the only solution in the problem of life in these days, what the way the world is going on. Please believe me. Vedanta gives us enormous strength, enormous happiness, enormous coolness. So please devote this time. Don't take it. See, I know people are suffering. But in this class, not a single person are in this condition that in lockdown we can't get food because we can't earn now. Not a single person. So now my target audience is these persons. I'm talking to you, not the whole world. I know how the world is suffering. So accept this lockdown period as blessings. Try to study, try to spend your time in this good way. So the thing is, the theme of Vedanta is only one. And there they did Aviskara of Samanvaya Sutra. The thing is, a lot of people, and many more scholarly Western philosophers, they thought that Upanishads are contradictory books and they are partial, and they started propagating against Upanishads. Because if you study, when we will study, we will see how difficult it is to understand. Apparently, it remains that it is the composition of some crazy fellows. Like I was discussing the Purnamada mantra. Mathematically, it is totally wrong. Unless and until you listens from appropriate acharya, proper acharya. Who is the acharya? Appropriate acharya. Who has a lineage, who has studied under Upanishad, under a bona fide master. And that master had the lineage. Sadashiva Samarambham, Šankaracharya Madhyam. That great lineage is there behind me, behind you. An acharya is an acharya who has no word of him or his. He speaks the Shastra according to the lineage, according to the Guru Parampara, which is Anadi, eternal. Because in Upanishad, sometimes Saguna Brahma, the Brahman with attributes, Brahman without attributes. Then sometimes Jnana, Bhakti, Karma, Yoga, all are contradictory, But Anandagiri, see, disciples should be like that. Anandagiri was the fourth generation of Shankaracharya. But he was so much devoted to that lineage. He used to write Tika only on Shankaracharya's Bhăşya, Adi Shankaracharya's, you know. How we understand that this is the composition of Adi Shankaracharya. We find, is there any Tika of Anandagiri or not? Because many Shankaracharya's are there, and not only that, in earlier days, people were not very careful to propagate their name. Their thinking was there that this great ideology should be spreaded out into the society. And people know who is Shankaracharya ji, so they used to write all those things in the name of Shankaracharya ji. But Anandagiri wrote Tika only on the commentary of Adi Shankaracharya. He gave a nice idea that's called Shat Linga Nirnaya. There are 6 methodology to know the oneness of entire Vedic literature. Entire. What is that? Upakrama Upasamhara first. Means introduction and the conclusion. Aikarupa Bhyas. Aikarupata, unity. Then Apurvata, uniqueness. Phalavatta, results. Arthavat. Arthavad means what is commonly known. And Yukti, the logic. So through this methodology, very easily we can understand the theme of all Upanishads. Now we will talk little about Advaita Vada. This is a very generous path to understand the impact of Upanishad, and that is moksha. The life, the aim of life is the aim of Upanishad. And among all the commentaries, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's Upanishad Bhăşya are in the peak. All other bhashyas are just down to that. Even the Western philosophers who criticized a lot, they also claimed that Bhagavan Shankaracharya's commentary is uncomparable. And what is the theme of Bhagavan Shankaracharya's commentary? He told all Upanishad has only one theme, that is Mahavakya, great statement. What are they? Jiva Brahma Ekatva. The individual is nothing but the total. That is the theme. And where we will get it? In mantra also. I am telling you the mantra, you can write it. Íśopanișad Upanishad, mantra number 4, mantra number 7. Kathopanishad 2.2.9. Prashnopanishad 1.8. Mundakopanishad 2.2.11. Mandukya Upanishad, second mantra. Taittiriya Upanishad 2.1. Aitareya Upanishad 1.1 and 3.1, Kenopanishad 2.4, Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1, Brihadaranya Upanishad 1.4.11, Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.1. Just for sample, many more are there. So he established that there is no contradiction among any Upanishads. But he also wrote the same thing in Bhăşya, what I am telling you right now, that without Guru, without Acharya, without proper teacher, it's just next to impossible to know Upanishad. Bhagavan Šankara ji has wrote the same thing in each commentary. Not only that, the later Acharyas also. Believe me, I was zero. I am zero. I really can feel because of my Acharya, I am here today. See, every Shastra has their own, because only you will sit in front of the Guru and you can know Upanishad. Is it possible? No. Then how and who can understand Upanishad very well? That we will discuss in the next class. Hari Om Tat Sat.